Hi, I'm Rob Elson, Technical Manager of Grand-Am, and I'm here to give a little bit of information about our ID plug that we use to identify the drivers in the cars. The ID plug is attached to the transponder, which is the scoring item that goes in the car and gives the car the times on the track through the scoring system. In addition to the scoring of the car, we use the ID plug so we know which driver is in the car at all times. It's required that the ID plug works for practices, and the ID plug is required to work in the race for the driver to get points in the race. You can see the ID plug here is a small plug that interfaces with the wiring harness that goes to the transponder. There's a resistor built into the plug, and that's what gives us the different names on the screen. When the ID plug is plugged into the transponder wiring harness, it changes the resistance value, which is linked to the driver name in the scoring system. As the drivers change in their pit stop, they unplug one plug and then plug in the other plug from the other driver's helmet so that we always know which driver is in the car.
When we're doing the driver change in the middle of the event, basically there's one driver's coming in, getting out of the car, there's another driver that's going to get hopped in, right? So what we do is we Velcro it to the top of the helmet, so as the driver coming out, you have to come to a stop, loosen your belts, pull your driver ID plug out, you hop out of the car. So at that point, then the new driver gets in. Then what my job is to grab the driver ID plug off of the top of the helmet and plug it in, so that makes sure that Grand-Am knows that I've gotten out of the car and we've got a new driver in the car.
It's very important for the drivers to make sure that they plug this in properly, because this gives us the information for both scoring and for the TV broadcast on speed to make sure that everyone knows who's in the car. If it's not plugged in properly and the drivers aren't getting the proper credit, it can affect points, and it also affects the quality of the TV broadcast. The TV guys don't know which driver's in the car. We end up having to check in pit lane with one of our pit officials to ask which driver is in the car. It causes a lot of inconvenience at best, and it can cause the guys to not get points at worst.
On the timing and scoring monitor, that it doesn't give any name, right? And what happens is you're in such a rush, right? Because you want to get in your pit stop, driver change, fuel, tires, and get back out there so fast that you may not get it all the way in, right? Or it may have come unplugged. So you get yelled at on the radio, Grand-Am yells at us, we get yelled at, and then we have to fish around inside the car and plug it back in before we go racing. Yeah, so that's how I think Grand-Am knows. So like, I'm a white driver ID plug, Tyler, my co-driver, he's a red driver ID plug, so that's why they know who's in the car.
If during the course of the race the team decides to add an additional driver or change drivers between cars, we have a form, a very specific form at the Grand-Am transporter that they're required to fill out, which tells us the driver that is associated with a car number and also a plug color. As you can see, the plugs have a little wire that gives us a color, and that color indicates the resistance that we're looking for in the scoring system. It's important that they make all these changes ahead of the race so that we have the proper information on the car during the race time.